साढ़े 4 गिनती दे 5 दे बंदे हैं जे आप च लड़के मारना दे एक मैदान चुन लो ते एको दिन सफल बेड़ दिए सारा।
A Sandhu Jat by birth, Amritpal Singh got one more cause to rally around. Ongoing protests in Punjab backed by the mainstream Akalis for the release of Sikh men convicted under tough anti-terror laws during the unrest in Punjab from the 1980s and 90s. A proponent of a separate Sikh nation, Amritpal Singh also abruptly turned inward, targeting chairs and benches placed in gurdwaras for the elderly and the infirm in Punjab. He drew heavy criticism from Sikh intellectual circles after his men set the gurdwara furniture on fire in December. The act considered antithetical to the whole concept of Sikh Seva. And in yet another rare move by any Khalistani ideologue ever, Amritpal Singh carried the Guru Granth Sahib in a bus as his supporters prepared for a showdown on Wednesday with the police over the arrest of an aide. A man with no hardcore religious background, pictured in a vintage Sikh costume at his tightly guarded wedding earlier this month. Adept at appropriating Sikh imagery and even the most sacred of the faith's practices at will. Amritpal Singh's quick rise leaves some perplexing questions regarding the causes he claims to be championing unanswered. With Harmeet Shah Singh in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
The all-new Red Dark Edition by Tata Motors.
Well, welcome. You're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Choudhry. It's been exactly 8 days, viewers, since the Parliament reconvened for the second half of the budget session. And 8 days of abject, complete washout, where the Parliament has been held ransom between, one, the demand for an apology by Rahul Gandhi on his comments made on UK soil. On the other, the constant push by the opposition demanding a JPC. So within Maafi, which is apology, versus JPC, which is hold a JPC on the entire Adani saga, the collateral has been the functioning of the Parliament. There is no end to the stalemate. BJP opposition continue to be at loggerheads.
Another predictable day of protest in Parliament. The Narendra Modi government persisted with its demand for an apology from Congress MP Rahul Gandhi for his remarks on the state of democracy while he was in the UK. The opposition is keeping the heat on the Modi government over the Adani stock crisis, demanding a joint parliamentary committee probe into the vexed issue. In a new mode of protest, the opposition parties also hung banners from the Parliament corridor targeting the government.
पूरे संसद का, पूरे सदन का आज विपक्ष ने फिर एक बार अपमान किया है। बात ना हो एक वीक विकेट पे कोई खड़ा हो, तभी इस प्रकार के हल्के कारनामे सुर्खियों में बने रहने के लिए विपक्ष आज कर रहा है।
The BJP on Tuesday compared Rahul to Mir Jafar, whose defection to the British side had helped the East India Company win the Battle of Plassey and take control of Bengal.
राहुल गांधी इज द प्रेजेंट डे मीर जाफर ऑफ इंडियन पॉलिटी। जो उन्होंने लंदन में किया है वो ठीक वही किया है। शहजादा नवाब बनना चाहता है और शहजादे ने ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी की मदद मांगी है नवाब बनने के लिए।
The Congress, equally defiant, has ruled out any apology by its MP.
देखो ये माफी मांगने का तो सवाल नहीं है, बार बार वो पूछते रहेंगे, हम उसको नकारते रहेंगे।
ये पहली बार इस प्रकार से जाके लंदन में कह रहे हो हिंदुस्तान की डेमोक्रेसी के खिलाफ। ऐसा नहीं है और ऐसा भी नहीं है कि राहुल गांधी बिना माफी मांगे निकल जाएंगे। माफी तो उन्हें मांगना ही पड़ेगा, हम मंगवा के ही रहेंगे।
राहुल गांधी जी अगर जब आते तक खलबली मच जाते तो राहुल वो नहीं चाहते कि राहुल गांधी जी आए, और क्षमा अगर किसी को मांगना है तो सबसे पहले प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को मांगना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि विदेश की जमीन पे अगर हिंदुस्तान को कोई प्रधानमंत्री, ऐसा कोई प्रधानमंत्री है हिंदुस्तान में जो छोटा किया, नीच किया, अपमान किया, कलंकित किया, तो वो नरेंद्र मोदी जी है।
Rahul Gandhi has written to Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla to allow him to explain his remarks in Parliament. He is not backing down, as is evident from his unsparing attacks on the Modi government.
And the truth is, the RSS, the BJP and the Prime Minister of India are attacking the idea and the institutions of India. And I will say it again and again and again and again.
Amid the fierce face-off between the government and the opposition, the second leg of the monsoon session is heading towards a washout, and no attempt is being made to salvage it. Bureau Report, India Today.
Just a few more days remaining, viewers, of the second half of the budget session. Complete washout, the collateral, not just the parliament, but the citizens of India, because it is your and my money which is getting wasted day in and day out, where the Parliament logjam continues, hanging in between a demand for a JPC on the Adani saga and, of course, an apology. None is coming, either a JPC, which the government is submitting to, or an apology, which Rahul Gandhi is submitting to. So let me quickly cut across to our political panelists on how possibly both now, the BJP and the opposition, are wasting the time and the money of the people of the country. Aparajita Sarangi, Lok Sabha MP, BJP, joins us. So does Rohan Gupta, spokesperson, Congress. Ms. Sarangi, one thing is very clear. You're not getting the apology that you're hell-bent on the floor of the parliament by Rahul Gandhi. He wants to speak. He's written so to the speaker. It's to the speaker's discretion, but till now, he hasn't been obliged to speak on the floor of the parliament. On the other hand, off late, you've seen he's not backing down, because the fight is now not just in parliament. He's taken it outside, exactly saying the same words that he did on UK soil. On the other hand, you're completely unrelenting on a JPC demand by the opposition. Can we safely say that both the opposition and the BJP today are on the same side of wasting the time and the money of the citizen of this country?
A very good evening. At the outset, let me tell you that in the parliament, there is a very nervous opposition, completely overawed by a very strong ruling dispensation. And the opposition knows that whatever the ruling dispensation is saying is actually the articulation of the views of, I think, not less than 100 and more crore Indians. See, a particular opposition leader goes outside the country, beyond the boundaries of India, and says something which is detrimental to the interests of India, one, and number two, it demeans the status of the country and its countrymen. So I think this is unpardonable, and if I can use the word, or rather suffix, this word by another word, that is sin. It's an unpardonable sin. And as far as Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned, as far as Prime Minister Modi's government is concerned, we are extremely clear as to what we are saying and what we are doing. We are articulating, as I said, the views of the Indians, and we want apology from Rahul Gandhi. Now, he wants to speak in the Lok Sabha. What does he want to say? He has to offer apology. He can't offer explanation. He wants to explain his position. What kind of position he would explain? I think all of us have heard what he said. He has talked of Europe and America, and he has said that the democracy back home is in danger, and these two, Europe and America, should come forward and should not be mute spectators. This implies that he wants to convey to them that they should come to India and help them, so that he is positioned as the leader here in the country. As simple as that. I mean, this is just a repetition of what Manish Shankar
Aparajita Sarangi, I think, I'm sure.
So I think this is unpardonable. Yeah.
No, Aparajita Sarangi, I want to ask you one question. The sheer fact that you say that your MPs in Parliament represent all of what the country is feeling, that could be incorrect, because we don't know what the country is feeling. MPs in Parliament don't make India, and India doesn't make the MPs that are in Parliament. So, to say that it's echoing the larger sentiment of the country, let the country decide that. On the other hand, I want to ask you, a rejoining question, Ms. Sarangi, and that comes from the sheer fact that, on the other hand, that you don't allow him to say anything. Now, that is at the discretion of the Speaker. But it is a democracy. He is allowed to put his point forward, even if it comes in as a matter of explanation that doesn't go very well with you.
I see your point when you said that, we don't articulate the views. See, let me tell you that we are representatives of the people.
True.
And I think everybody is hurt. Can you ask anybody who is not hurt? Can you name people in India who are not hurt by whatever he did there? So to say that we, the representatives of people, do not articulate the views of the Indians is far from the truth. I think not one Indian would be there at this juncture who would actually subscribe to the views of Rahul Gandhi just because he spoke outside the country. Whatever, he's an opposition leader. He has every right. He's well within his right when he actually opposes us within the boundaries of India. Whatever he may say, throughout Bharat Jodo Yatra.
But Ms. Sarangi, as I bring in your counterpart into this debate, the Congress has, we've done so many debates that I think the arguments right now are cliche, they're rhetorical. But the Congress has gone out on a limb on this and said that so has the Prime Minister. There's a whole list of the years which the Prime Minister has been on foreign soil, and possibly many could interpret it as insulting the country. But that is what the beauty of Indian democracy is. You have a right to say what you stand for. Now, that aside, I want to bring in Rohan Gupta into this conversation. Rohan Gupta, your entire demand, your entire focus has been asking for a JPC on the issue of Adani. On the other hand, that's not happening because with what your leader has done overseas, the BJP wants an apology. Why don't you give that apology and then press for a demand of the JPC? It'll make your life easier, because in any case, you've diverted the entire conversation from what you wanted to talk about.
Preeti, I think the complete BJP, whether in Parliament or outside Parliament, they are jittery. They have lost the confidence because they know that if JPC is formed, the reality will come out, and it is their compulsion. I don't blame them. There are two issues, Preeti. I want to make this issue very, very clear to your viewers that if going out of the country and criticizing the government for the blunders they have done, if that is seen, as I heard from BJP spokesperson using the word seen, then Mr. Modi has done this scene number of times. I'll give 10 examples. Doha, Australia, everywhere he has spoken against the country, against the government that time in 2013. It's point number. Point number two, if you have spoken against the country outside India, I completely agree that that is not pardonable. I challenge BJP spokesperson here that the word which is used by Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad initially in his press conference, that Rahul Gandhi has used word interfere in his speech in London. I'm challenging BJP spokesperson that please show me that word where the word interfere has been used, point number one. And if the word is not used, how it is anti-India? It is anti-Modi government. It is anti-Modi government because they are killing our democracy. Whether it is our press, whether it is judiciary, whether it is parliament, any sector you say, they are killing us. They are killing the democracy. And talking against the government is not the scene. Because it is their compulsion, Preeti. They know that they allow the discussion, they will move to JPC and they will be caught. Another thing, Mr. Rahul Gandhi simply says, I am a parliamentarian. There is allegation which is leveled against me. Give me chance to speak in parliament. If they are right, why don't they allow the discussion in parliament? Rahul Gandhi is ready to give all the answers because they know the answer, Preeti, that Rahul Gandhi has not done anything wrong.
Okay.
Because they know that if the parliament runs, they will have to answer on
Rohan
JPC.
Gupta, you know, there is, okay, Rohan Gupta.
If the JPC happens, they will be
Okay.
caught. It is their compulsion.
But, you know, there seems to be, because it's not just the BJP, but the Congress as well, where you continue to shift goalposts. And that's where I said there is a collective here in which you are wasting the time of the people of the country and the money. Now, why I say that is, you say that Rahul Gandhi never asked for foreign intervention. It's incorrect, Rohan Gupta, because I will quote you verbatim on what Rahul Gandhi said. On the other hand, what you quote, which is the Congress, hear me out, sir. Hear me out, Rohan Gupta, hear me out. With what the Congress quotes is what Rahul Gandhi said later as a rebuttal to the backlash by the BJP. Now, what Rahul Gandhi said in Cambridge is very clear, that when democracy is under threat in this country, he finds it strange that democracies like Europe, democracies like America keep silent. Now, many would interpret it as seeking the intervention of foreign hand, which is in this case European countries and America. If you're saying, why are you keeping silent? Okay, Rohan Gupta, I'll tell you how. I will tell you how. I will tell you how.
The way you are interpreting it, I am ready to challenge you also.
Rohan Gupta, if somebody's, I'll tell you.
Preeti, let me complete. Let me complete. Please let me complete. Let me complete. I am challenging you also. You please play the clip of Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, where he has used the word that Mr. Rahul Gandhi has used the word interfere. This is the press conference of Mr.
Listen, I'm not talking about what Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad said.
Your judgment.
And I'm going to go to Aparajita.
We are having a debate now.
Yes, I'm going to come back to you, ma'am. Just give me a minute. Rohan Gupta, let me tell you what he said. When you say something that why is it that democracies, which he says are robust democracies like America and Europe, are keeping silent, that would mean you're expecting them to speak on what's happening in India. Doesn't it? It's plain, simple English. Okay, so that doesn't mean... Okay.
There is a difference between intervention and speaking.
Aparajita Sarangi, you wanted to come and go ahead.
I think you are good. I think you can understand English well. There is a difference between intervention and speaking. Am I right or wrong, Preeti?
It can be interpreted both ways. Ms. Sarangi, come in and then I'll come across to Ms. Gupta.
It is your interpretation. He was answering the question.
Yes, Mr. Gupta, that is why I'm saying that it can be interpreted.
You cannot interpret.
Okay, Mr. Gupta, you made your point.
Take legal action.
Sir, you made your point. Ms. Sarangi, go ahead.
Prime Minister Modi goes to a foreign land and says things against India. That is what these people have been saying. Number one, you have to understand the context.
No, India again.
Mr. Gupta, no point heckling. He didn't.
Let her talked of Europe and America. He never said that, you know, Europe and America should not be silent in the matter. And, you know, it's a question of interpretation. We know what he meant. What did the gentleman mean? This is one. And number two, let me be very clear about another thing about which these people are creating a ruckus in the house and actually wasting about rupees 1.5 crore per hour of taxpayers' money because the parliament is not running. Now here, they're talking of the JPC, the demand for the Joint Parliamentary Committee. Now we are aware of the fact that there are 3 petitions in the Supreme Court and they are being heard. And there is an expert committee which has been constituted. And on this expert committee, there are members who have been named by Honorable Supreme Court, not by the government. The government readily agreed to the formation of the expert committee and was very keen to have this expert committee look into the matter. I think we are a very transparent government, no skeletons in the cupboard. Let the expert committee look into the matter and give a report, and I think all of us will know what is what. So I think before having the report in our hand by the expert committee, which has been constituted by none other than Honorable Supreme Court, I think there is no reason why we should be insisting on the JPC.
Because I'll tell you why, Ms. Sarangi. I'll tell you why the opposition says.
One feels
Okay,
As if
Ms. Sarangi,
Congress
I'll tell you
does
why the
not
opposition
believe.
feels there's a need
Congress
for a
does not
JPC.
have faith
Sir,
in
ma'am,
the wisdom
ma'am,
of
do
the
you
Supreme
remember?
Court.
Do you remember 2G?
Yes.
There was a JPC on 2G. Was the case not in Supreme Court? Yes, it was in Supreme Court. So the opposition said that when we were in power, we allowed a 2G because you demanded a JPC on 2G. We allowed it then. The matter was in court with multiple petitions. So therefore, we want a JPC right now, allow it. So in that legal sense of the term, that is their explanation. All right, okay, 30 seconds each. Rohan Gupta, closing.
The important point here is it is compulsion of BJP to shy away from JPC because they know that they will be caught. Otherwise, there is no reason. And they act like they are the thieves, they are the police, and they are the judge. They will pass on the judgment that Rashtra certificate they cannot distribute the certificate. Let Mr. Rahul Gandhi speak in Parliament. Because you know that once he speaks, the reality will come out and you will have to go for JPC. And why you are shying away from JPC?
All right, Ms. Sarangi, 30 seconds. Can I just get Ms. Aparajita Sarangi? Go ahead, ma'am. 30 seconds.
Yeah. I must remind everybody who is watching us that the Congress people had gone to the Supreme Court for Pegasus, for Rafale, for Central Vista, for demonetization, and we know what happened. They had to bite the dust. So I am sure this time also they will bite the dust, and I think it's a matter of time. So they have gone. There are 3 petitions. There is no question of having a JPC at this juncture. We are very clear, but we must say that we want an apology from Rahul Gandhi.
Okay, you know, with
for
that, because
the unpardonable sin
what is
that
going
he has
down
done.
in this debate is exactly what going down in Parliament, but the collateral in all of this is the citizen of the country, because the Parliament is not functioning. It's going to be a complete washout where the second half of the budget session was concerned. Just a few days left. If I'm not wrong, 3 days left. With that, a quick break. To stay with us on the other side is Rahul Kanwar.
Cracks in the opposition are getting bigger by the day. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has trained her guns on the Congress, calling Rahul Gandhi TRP hero of the Narendra Modi government. The TMC Supremo's attack in Murshidabad comes just days after her party charted its own path in Parliament. They have skipped the protests led by Congress demanding JPC probe into Adani stock crisis, opting to hold their own agitation instead. Mamata's statement has found support from the Samajwadi Party.
कई कांग्रेस की बुराइयों की वजह से आज भारतीय जनता पार्टी देश में दिखाई दे रही है। उदाहरण के लिए मैं कह सकता हूं